Someone went all the way out of their way to get your attention. But they not only got your attention, they decided to get your attention in the wrong way. They wasn't giving you respect to your face. They was being very inconsiderate of your feelings and how you could have felt if they would have took the time out to walk in your shoes based off how they went about getting your attention. They chose to do it the childish way, the insecure way, because they felt like you were too good for them, in which you were. You were too good for them. But they still wanted your attention anyway. But they went through all these hoops and spins and all that turmoil to finally get your attention just for them to ruin it and lose your attention. Someone is literally having an emotional outburst right now because you are refusing to give them your attention and your time and your energy. And you're refusing their offer because they didn't come at you correctly, for one. They came at you incorrectly and thought you was going to stay there and take it. And you rejected it. So now they're having an emotional outburst, mad because you're done with the games they was playing. Oh, it was a game to this person. See, when they grabbed your attention, it was a bet that they was going to keep you and get you to fall for them and do what they wanted you to do. That was the bet that they made, probably with themselves or with a group of friends or people they knew. But instead of them coming at you correctly, they decided to be stupid, lose your attention. You put this person in a place, and now they're emotionally distraught because of it. Oh my goodness. They're emotionally distraught because you refuse to even entertain them anymore. Yeah, I'm picking up heavy. You won't even entertain this person. You won't even look their way. Matter of fact, you treat them like a ghost, like they don't even exist, because you don't have time for their problems, for their mess. You don't have time for the drama. You don't have time for the mind games. If a person wanted your attention, why couldn't they just do it right? Why couldn't they just approach you correctly and not come in with a disrespectful attitude or a childish mentality like you was going to stick around forever? Your time is very precious to you. I take it that you are a very entrepreneur type person. You like a boss. You ain't got time to play no games with nobody. If they put in all that work to get your attention, they should have knew how to keep your attention on top of that, because they knew what type of person you were. They knew you were somebody that didn't come to play. You didn't come to play around with people. By your persona, the way you move, the way you carry yourself, the way you even dress shows, because you wear a lot of business suits, business attire, or you just wear a lot of classy material where you come with confidence, with elegance, and with ease. But they couldn't understand that. Someone is really mad because you refuse their offer and their games and the mess they had going on. This person needs to fix their insecurities and stop coming at you like you was the problem. Now they're crying, boo-hooing, trying to figure out what they can do to get you to entertain them again. You're not, because you don't do childish behavior. You don't deal with people that disrespect. You don't deal with people that play games in your face. You don't deal with mess or drama. You don't deal with none of that. But they wanted to put you in that in order to keep your attention. You said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I got enough self-love to know I don't need that. Then you went off on this person. That's another reason why they had this emotional outburst. You went off. You said, don't you ever come at me like that again. Matter of fact, you better get up out my face with that foolishness, because you ain't got time. You ain't got time to train and teach adults how to be adults. That should have learned that in grade school. Now they're adults acting like children. acting like they can't understand how to be an adult and conduct themselves the right way. But that's not your problem or your concern, that this person, this someone, cannot conduct themselves in a adult fashion and not in a childish like mentality. That's not your problem. And you let this person know in so many words that's not your problem. You ain't got to ever look your way again. They don't have to do anything because at this point they're non-existent. You don't even remember this person no more. If this person had a name, Billy Bob Joe, Billy Bob Joe, I don't know, that's the name that came out. Billy Bob Joe is not in existence no more. Billy Bob Joe is a ghost. Billy Bob Joe who? You don't remember who Billy Bob Joe is because the moment they want to be stupid with you, that's the moment they had to go out your energy. And you let them go and let them deal with the foolishness they want to deal with somebody else, not with you. Because you are too good for that foolishness. You are too good for their mess and their whatever they had going on, you just too good for it. As beautiful as you are, as handsome as you are, if it's a male watching this video, you don't have time for mess. You don't have time for people drama. These people going out of their way to get your attention but don't know how to keep your attention. It's not your fault. They need to have more confidence like you and not do stupid things for your attention. Definitely don't disrespect you to get your attention. That's the good way to lose you. These people don't realize that yet. The way you carry yourself, the way you are as a person, that's a good way to lose you and to lose you forever. Just come disrespectfully one time. It don't take 5 or 6 times, so just one time. Because they should know better. Put them in their place one good time. Let them know you better not play with me again one good time. Because you ain't got time to play with nobody in a mess. Because you are too old for the games of the foolishness. And someone had to find out the hard way. And now they're emotionally distraught. Because they realize they lost you forever. That they can't come back. That you would not give them no more of your attention. You wouldn't even give them the satisfaction. Because this person might try to set you up and lie and say you did something that you ain't do just to get your attention. And have people thinking you chasing them and want them and messing with them. And you ain't doing nothing but minding your own business. But they going out of their way to get your attention. But they want you to feel some type of way. Yeah. No. They don't need your attention. They need to just go on about their way. Take that L, because they took a L, and go and be free. And get it right with the next person. Why? It don't have to be you. They need to get it right with somebody else because you done. I pick up heavy energy X. You are done. Blocked. You cannot come back in your energy no more. Because you didn't like the way they treated you when they came the first time. And I don't blame you. You are adult. You are mature. You are a woman of God. You probably even a man of God. If you're a man watching this, you are a person of God. And people of God don't play that. No. They carry themselves in a whole different way. They carry themselves again with elegance. They carry themselves like they know what's going on out here because they do. On a physical level and as well as a spiritual level. They know what's going on. So they the worst people you need to play with is a person that knows they're a child of God. Or a person of God. They know who they are. Other people just trying to figure out who they are because they don't understand. Because they too busy going through life living foolishly and thinking life a game when it's very serious out here. So you taught this person a valuable lesson. Do not come for you again. Do not try it. Because if they try it, they can get cut off. They can get rejected. They can be thrown to the wayside and to never speak to you again. Because again, they're non-existent after you're done with them. After you had to put them in a place. After you had to check them about how they came at you. And then you treat them like they disregarding them like they non-existent. Yeah, they have an emotional outburst about that. And they should. They need to conduct themselves properly like the adults they are, and then they won't have to deal with this from a person like you ever again. And that's the message I got for a royal one. And until next time, bye-bye.